So at the end of my first video, I talked a little bit about window covers, and I promised that I would do a video about that. Well, today I'm finally doing that video. The truth is that some things have changed in my approach since then, but I'd like to start by talking about what hasn't changed. So the first thing that hasn't changed is I'm still using this sunshade. So this is an accordion style sunshade, and I bought it on eBay. It's got a foam core to it. That's what I like about it. It's nice and thick. It's sturdy enough that it stays in place and it covers the whole windshield. It's got a felt backing on the inside and a reflective surface on the outside. And that keeps it really nice and cool in the car. I just cut a little notch out here for my dash cam. I've been happy with this. I'll link to it if I could find it on eBay. I'll put the link in the description. So the way that this works is you just unfold it, put it up against the bottom of the windshield, and then you lift it up. And then you can bring down the visors, and the visors hold it in place. This is the little cutout I made for my dash cam. When it's not installed, I'll either just put it on the floor here, or I'll put it in the back, because usually I'll be traveling, so I'll have plenty of room in the back. For my build, I decided to go with a curtain dividing the front from the back. And there are a couple reasons for that. One is I just like the way that it makes it feel a little bit less like I'm in a car when I'm in the back. The other reason is a privacy reason, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first, I want to talk about how I'm hanging this here. So I actually bought these curtains on Amazon, and they came with like a string that you could use to attach them, and that just didn't really work. It just sagged a lot, and so I came up with my own method of hanging them. And so what I did was I went out to, I think it was Hobby Lobby or someplace like that, and I got just one of these tension curtain rods. You just twist it to adjust the tension and how long it is. And so I was able to just slip the curtains onto that. Now, if you try to just put this up with tension, it might hold for a little while, but it's just gonna fall down. So what I did was I fashioned these little clips, and I just did this with some sheet metal. And I had some Galvalume sheet metal from my tiny house project, which I made this with, but you can probably get something similar just at Home Depot or Lowe's or at your local hardware store. And I just bent it into this shape here. And let me show you how that installs. So I got my little homemade clip, and it just goes right over the plastic of the B-pillar here, slots right in there, and that's it. So I have one for each side, and then when I hang my curtain, it just sits right there. So that little lip there just keeps this in place and keeps it from falling down. So the other modification I made to these curtains is I sewed in these strips of Velcro-like material. It's a product called 3M Dual Lock, and I like it a lot better than Velcro. It's a lot thinner, and both sides are the same, and it kind of snaps into place. Like that. And I've got a piece up here, I've got a strip here, and then further down here I've got another strip. So I just lock all of these pieces together. It blocks out all the light. And same thing on the other side. These are sewn in at 3 points. I just put a bunch of loops in there and then tied it off. That's mainly what's holding these to the curtain. And then the two sides of the curtain just snap together with these buttons. So the thing that I like about the curtain is that it means that I don't need window covers for these front windows or for these little windows in the corner. It would be really difficult to achieve full coverage in the front around the windshield anyway, especially around the rear view mirror. And if you're trying to be stealth, then having all of your windows covered actually makes it more obvious that you're camping in your vehicle. So by leaving the front side windows uncovered, it looks more like a normal parked vehicle and not like somebody sleeping in the back. I mean, who would even think that somebody could fit back there? So I got my side windows tinted down to 35%, which is the legal limit in Connecticut. I did not get my windshield tinted at all because I couldn't do that legally. But the back windows are tinted down to, I believe, 20% because there's no legal limit on how dark you can make your back windows. So the combination of the window tints and the sunshade makes it dark enough in here that you don't really see the curtain, even though you can still see inside. And since it's normal for the back windows of a car to be tinted darker than the ones in the front, the blackout in the back doesn't really look that unusual, especially because the window tint hides the fabric. So this is one of my original window covers. And I built these very similar to how Mountain Springs Adventures built his. I'll put the link to that video up here. The only difference is I used a faux suede fabric. I'm not sure if that's what he was using. And I used a foam core instead of a corrugated plastic core. And I got the foam core, I think it was from Hobby Lobby. It's kind of a 1/4-inch craft foam board. I used a spray adhesive to attach it and then cut slats on the back. It folded it over, and then I used hot glue to attach the fabric to the back of the board. Then I cut out another piece of fabric that covers the whole thing with a little bit of a lip that extends beyond. I used a little bit of anti-fray to prevent the edges from fraying. I didn't fold them over, I just left them exposed. So I left these little tabs here so I'd be able to easily remove it from the window. So it installs basically as a friction fit. And that's what it looks like when it's closed. You can just use the tab to pull it out. In the beginning, they held a lot more tightly. Over time, they started falling out more. The thing that I like about this style is that it's really fast to install. The other thing that I like is it really blocks out everything due to this extra lip of fabric. So the thing that I didn't like about this style of window cover is that they take up a lot of room in the car when they're not in the windows. I also really didn't care for how this worked with a larger window in the back. You ended up with this really, really big piece of foam, and over time it kind of warped. And it is very hard to keep it in place. In the beginning, it kind of just friction fit, but over time, it kept falling out. Especially overnight, I would often wake up with it on me. And I tried adding a piece of Velcro on the top here. I tried slipping something underneath here to hold it. Nothing really worked very well. The Velcro just didn't have enough holding power, especially when the window would heat up, then the adhesive would weaken and it would just fall down. So at this point, all of my window covers fit into this one cubby right here. Now the two that I kept the same are these small ones that fit into these windows here. So for those, I'm still using this foam board style because they take up very little space. The other ones are just fabric. So these are a faux suede, just like the same material that I used to cover the foam board ones. And this is the one that goes up in the back. You can see how little space it takes up when it's folded. So in the end, what I came up with was really as simple as it comes. It's just a single piece of fabric, and it's cut out using pinking shears, which gives this kind of zigzag cut, and that prevents the edge from fraying. And the way that these are held in place is, again, with that 3M dual lock. It's a Velcro-like product, but both sides are the same, and it's really thin, and it kind of snaps into place. And these are about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, and I just sewed them in, just did a few loops around and then tied it. And I sewed these in along the perimeter. And those match up with these dual locks that I've adhered along the perimeter of the window. And with these, I made them a little bit larger than the ones I sewed into the curtain, so you don't have to be totally precise when you're putting it up. So it's a little bit slower to install these, but everything just kind of snaps into place. This piece in the back, same thing. And you can see the coverage is really good. So these side windows basically work the same way, except that instead of putting the dual lock on the window itself, which would prevent it from opening when it slides down, I put the dual lock along the frame of the window. And I didn't need to put any on the bottom, just the top and the sides. So these basically install the same way. Now for either type of window shade you want to make, in either case you're going to have to start by making a template. And I like to use the paper method for doing this. And so all you need is some Scotch tape, some paper, some scissors, and a pen. Create a loop out of your tape. You also tape the pieces to each other as you're going along. So you want to kind of push the piece of paper up underneath the lip as you're going. when you get to the corners, you might want to cut your sheets a little smaller. So you're basically just gonna, again, stick it up so that it goes behind the edge. And tape it to the other paper. Because what you want is when this all comes out, you want it to come out as one sheet and you want it to retain its shape. Now this one, I think I can cover this whole space with one sheet. But I just need to trim a little bit off the corner. Okay, so now the last step is to take a pen and to trace around the window frame. Great, so now I got my template. And the only thing left to do is just to trim off the edges along the line. Right, so now that you've got your template, you would put it onto your fabric. In the case of these side windows, you actually want to leave about an inch of extra fabric on the top and on the sides. Now, when I did this template, I didn't mean to cut off the edge here. It should extend to cover that little corner piece of the window. I forgot to do that this time. So you'll lay this out on your fabric, and then you'll measure about an inch out, and then you'll use your pinking shears to cut out your cover. Also, I wanted to show you this stitching pattern up close. I actually did kind of a square pattern here. I thought I just had a single loop in the middle, but this gives you a better hold to make sure that this thing stays solid. So that solution kind of fit really well with my priorities, and maybe something else would work better for you. But hopefully it gives you some ideas and a good starting point to work from. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Quick little bonus for this episode. I found a new place to put my trash bag. I used to put it on the floor down here, but it kind of got lost in everything else I was storing down there. And it was very hard to get to if I was in the back of the car. So now I'm putting it up here, and this is where I keep my dry goods. So it's right up here, and then I'm just using a little bungee cord. And it just goes through the handles of the bag and clips to itself. And I have a nice little trash bag there.